breakdown between your mother and I has caused emotional.
Ashley, the Braxton family's niece, has dropped some huge bombs about the family's deep struggles. The ex-husbands of the Braxton sisters are now opening up about what they witnessed, and honestly, it's tough to hear. When they talk about the Braxtons carrying generational trauma, they're not playing around. Even Tony's ex, Carrie Lewis, is sharing how the emotional scars from their marriage still affect him. It's clear this family has caused a lot of pain, and now the truth is coming out. Tony used her sisters to boost her own career, and the bad blood between Tamar and Tawanda is painful. What started behind closed doors has split the sisters in ways we never saw coming. It feels like something out of a dramatic movie, with so much mental and emotional pain. The Braxton family drama is on a whole new level, and it's heartbreaking to see how it all played out. The Braxton sisters' story starts with Evelyn and Michael Braxton Sr., but now Ashley has revealed a shocking secret about one of her aunt's husbands. She opened up about having an inappropriate relationship with a family member, and it's exposed some serious issues within the Braxton family. The way they treated her, both back then and now, is heartbreaking. At just 16, the family started pushing her away, leaving her with all the responsibility and making her feel completely alone. It got so bad that she felt like she had no choice but to leave. Ashley shared her story in a TikTok video that went viral, but instead of support, the Braxton family turned their backs on her. They didn't back her up, either publicly or privately. The only one who reached out was her aunt, Tamar. Feeling abandoned, Ashley decided to move to a whole new country to escape the hurt and start fresh.
You had me thinking I was crazy too. I see. You know what? It felt like a surviving Tamar moment.
Ashley's message really struck a chord, and Tamar, who had been through her own tough times, reached out to reconnect. But what's shocking is that no one else in the family did the same. Nothing. You'd think Grandma Evelyn would be upset about what happened to her granddaughter, but it feels like they just don't care. It's even worse that Ashley's dad, Mikey, sent her a cease and desist letter, threatening legal action if she spoke the truth. That's just plain cruel. The person who should have protected her let her down. What's even harder to watch is how the family seems more focused on keeping her quiet than actually welcoming her back. And Ashley isn't the only one who's been hurt. When Tamar bravely shared that she had been abused as a child, her own sisters shut her down with their words. The way they turned their backs on her is shocking and shows just how deep the family's issues really are. Tamar was devastated when she found out through social media how her family reacted. She said, "I was very disappointed. Our family is supposed to be closer than that. To have someone else tell me what happened to my own family was painful." They didn't outright say they didn't believe her, but by not backing her up, they made it clear they didn't consider her truth to be valid. It's painful to see how they've treated each other. It's crazy how the Braxton sisters were more upset that Tamar didn't call them right away than actually caring about what she had to go through. Tamar's sisters, especially Tracy, didn't show much sympathy for her at all. But there's something we can't ignore. Mama Evelyn might have known what happened all along. She never let Tamar name the family member who hurt her. Was she trying to protect someone? It makes you wonder. The whole situation is really troubling. The Braxton sisters have had their share of struggles, and a lot of it comes back to their parents. Michael Braxton Sr. didn't help much. He left after their mom divorced him and remarried someone else, leaving the girls heartbroken in so many ways. It's a tough reality. When their mom was hospitalized, Tony had to step up and support her sisters. But it didn't stop there. When Tony started her music career, it seemed like she was also in charge of her sisters' careers. Was she just trying to take control, or was this a pattern of using them for her own gain? It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure, this family has been through a lot, and the drama runs deep.
Says anything, please let it be known, let it be clear that as I am in this.
Each of the Braxton sisters dreamed of fame, either through singing or by marrying someone wealthy. Now, we're not saying Tony doesn't have an incredible voice, she definitely does. But her vocals were never quite on the same level as stars like Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston. So, Tony turned to her sister Tamar to help bring out the best in her voice. While Tony was out there competing with singers like Mariah and Whitney, she was also trying to find her own unique place in the music world. Honestly, it was Tamar who helped give Tony the voice she became known for, with some help from Tawanda and even Trina, who occasionally sang backup. But things started to change when Tamar began wanting the spotlight for herself. The family dynamic started falling apart as Trina, Tawanda, and Tamar couldn't seem to get along without fighting. The situation took a big turn when Tamar and Vince started dating. Vince got them a reality show, something Tawanda thought could be the perfect way to keep the family relevant and bring them together. Plus, it could be really profitable for her. But instead, Tamar ended up being the breakout star. As her fame grew, so did the rivalry and tension between the sisters. Tamar's solo career took off with a spin-off reality show and eventually her own talk show. According to her ex-husband, Andre, she went on to star in even more reality shows, which only made the family tension worse. There was a lot of frustration, especially when Tamar seemed to ignore how others felt. At one point, Andre confronted her, asking if she really thought she was the one to call the shots. The situation clearly grew more intense. Tawanda and Trina, on the other hand, were angry at Tamar. They blamed her for the breakup of their group and felt like she left them behind as her fame took off. They struggled to build their own careers and felt overlooked. But the drama didn't end there. Wanda's husband, Andre, wasn't working and didn't seem interested in changing that. This left Wanda to carry the weight of supporting the family, paying bills, putting food on the table, and working hard every day, all while also helping with the kids. The pressure she was under was huge, and it's no surprise that over time, her frustration only grew.
He's the one who said to me, "Tony, when you make it, you can help us come." So I always tried to abide that.
Wanda reached a point where she felt like she had married her mother, and at one point, she didn't like her mom. She loves her today, but things got so bad that Wanda was eventually charged with theft and forgery after accepting stolen items. It didn't stop there. She faced another legal issue from her landlord, who sued her for not paying rent and damaging his property. Tracy also struggled financially, with her landlord even calling her out on Instagram. Tracy and her husband, Kevin Sr., tried to pretend they owned their home, but they were behind on rent. Andrew says Tamar and Tony would sometimes help their sisters, but not in the kindest way. Tony had a diva attitude, and while Tamar was always there, she had her own issues and a quick temper. Despite all of this, Tamar and Tony were the most successful of the sisters, while Tawanda, Tracy, and Trina often felt like they were treated more like servants than sisters. When they asked for help, Tamar and Tony would put them down. Their mom, Evelyn, never stepped in to fix the growing tension between the sisters. She usually sided with Tony and Tamar because they had the money and the connections in the industry. This constant competition and family pain started affecting their relationships. Even though the sisters tried hard, none of them seemed able to keep a man for the long haul. Evelyn's bitterness had a big part in why none of the sisters found lasting happiness in their personal lives. The Braxton sisters have had their fair share of relationship struggles. Take Tawanda's marriage to Andre. She seems to love him way more than he loves her, and it feels like he's just sticking around for the perks. Tony's relationship with Birdman wasn't much better. They didn't get along, and he was unstable. Tony also had a tough time with her ex-husband, and their divorce only added more complications. On the reality show, their relationship was an emotional roller coaster, especially with Gabe constantly disrespecting Trina. Trina seemed to jump from one bad relationship to another, eventually ending up in another rocky one with her current spouse. Tracy, on the other hand, did forgive Kevin for his mistakes, like allegedly having a child outside their marriage. But Tamar's been through even more. She's been married and divorced 3 times, and it seems like her relationship issues are endless. Things got worse after a family member passed away, and Tamar left everything to her son. Kevin Sr. is still furious about it, showing just how deep the family's wounds go. It's a mess, but Tamar made sure her wishes were clear, getting a lawyer to record them before her health got worse, so no one could challenge it. Looking at the Braxton family, it's obvious there's a lot of dysfunction. They're twisted up because of their parents, who are treated like gods in the family, and you're never allowed to speak against them. While each of their criticisms has some truth, the real issue is that the family could heal if Mama Evelyn took responsibility for her mistakes. The more I think about it, the more negative energy I feel. But what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video.